Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for helping on. My name is Ransom Anima. If it's your first time, thank you so much for helping on. A little bit about me. I'm a final year radiography student. I'm also a medical writer and also a YouTuber. Yeah, a content creator. So today I have an amazing guest speaker, Deepti. A little snippet about the session. Deepti is an amazing personality. They're gonna be talking a story about her journey, with chronic kidney diseases and dialysis treatments and how from suffering from chronic kidney diseases, dialysis to now a transplant, and believe that she's recovering right now. So this is like a snippet of this amazing and intriguing session. So I would love if you can stay back and pay real attention to what Dipti has for us today. So Dipti, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. I'm originally from India and moved to United States in 2016 as a student and have lived in Los Angeles and currently in San Jose. Last year in April, I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. Both my kidneys had failed and I was on self-administered peritoneal dialysis for almost 8 months before I got my transplant in January. And I'm still on the path of recovery and had spent close to 2 months in hospital and got discharged like 2 weeks ago and still like trying to get it there. My labs are still going towards normal but haven't fully recovered yet. Thanks for
Alright,
inviting me over, and I would definitely love to share whatever experiences I have.
amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Dipti, for introducing yourself. So let's proceed to the first question for you. So your journey with chronic kidney disease, dialysis, and now a transplant has been incredibly inspiring. So talk us through what were some of the biggest mental and physical challenges you faced during this transition, and how did you overcome them? Talk us through.
Diagnosed with kidney failure, I was in the middle of my work day and was choking. So I messaged my colleagues that I'm going to ER because I'm choking badly. And after reaching the emergency and having gone through like 4 hours of extensive blood tests and CT scans and all that, I was told that both my it was a prime shock for them. I was admitted to ICU immediately on the same day and had to call back my family and friends along to inform them what had been happened, to take care of the entire situation. And I spent close to 16 days that time in Good Samaritan Hospital, San Jose. There were a lot of challenges around the reality that I would be on the dialysis for now and would eventually need a transplant. I have to do in my lifestyle as well as my diet. Challenges was that I was used to get tired very quickly. That was something very new to me. I used to lose short of breath. I cannot walk too much. And since I was on dialysis, I had to be sure that I'm going to the dialysis center or doing the dialysis on time. That was most important to me. Like sometime if I'm out with my friends, I had to make sure that I come back home on time to start the dialysis or be in the center on time to get my chair for the dialysis. Then second challenge was managing the diet because during in dialysis every 1 week or 2 week they usually have your lab test and measure your metabolic panel, and if some of the nutrients like potassium, phosphorus are too high, that may get life threatening for patients, especially potassium because it can cause it increases the probability of heart attacks. So I have to work with dietitian to curate my own specific diet plan so that all my metabolic panel is within the range. The third challenge which I came across was managing a huge list of medication, which I still do after transplant, to make sure that I take my medicines on time and follow a strict diet, as well as had to maintain a very rigid routine balancing work, dialysis, diet, as well as making sure that I don't overexert myself. And since my immunity is already very low, uh, try to stay away from crowds and protect myself from all the possible infections. And in terms of a mental challenge, was balancing the work, because I was working full time when I was diagnosed. I took short term disability for a while, then I got back to the work, then I got laid off. I had to look out for a new job immediately because I needed medical insurance to support my treatment going forward. Once in the new job, the first challenge was to inform my new manager about my condition and asking for flexibility at work. And I was on 9 hours under dialysis in the night, which is a very big deal, because I was tied to machine for 9 hours. I cannot really move around much, and I wasn't. And even if I'm thirsty, I cannot drink more than 1 to 1.5 liters of water every day. And had to also manage all the supplies of the dialysis, because I was doing dialysis at home. The supplies used to come on fortnightly basis at home. So to make sure that either me or somebody else at home, so that the supplies can be arranged at home, because they're very heavy boxes. I cannot lift these boxes by myself. So there's a company, Baxter, which supplies dialysis supplies, which gives dialysis supplies to the patient all over US and world. So their drivers actually keep the boxes in the space allocated by the patients. And another challenge was which which I would definitely see was people asking me, how can we help you? But the reality is that when somebody is in my situation, nobody can really do anything. I cannot ask anybody to see that, okay, what exactly help I need, because they really cannot do anything. It's really hard, because all you have, this is your own battle. You have to navigate it on your own. You have to manage your own supplies. You have to do your own dialysis and try to stay away from infections. Wash your hands carefully. Follow a very strict diet. Be on a tight schedule of fluid intake, as well as make sure that you do not do anything which can harm you. Like, even if there's a slight fever or a slight infection in the dialysis catheter, inform the medical authorities immediately.
Mm.
It was a tough journey during the entire dialysis time. Transplanters, I think I'm still learning how to manage the transplant thing, because I'm still very new to it. But doing dialysis dealing with dialysis is a very big challenge for anybody.
Dipti, that was a very emotional story to share, about your journey with, chronic kidney disease, alongside with, dialysis, and now a transplant, which has been incredibly very inspiring. And I believe that the audiences are really inspired by your journey, with chronic diseases, dialysis, and now a transplant. And also, thank you so much for talking to Stereo about your biggest mental and physical challenges you faced during this transition, and how you overcame them. Thank you so much for talking to Stereo, Dipti. So the next question is, I know because of your transition, because of your past, challenges with chronic kidney diseases, you're now a kidney health coach, which is amazing. Telling people on how to, you know, talking to people true about, what is intake, when someone is faced with chronic kidney diseases, going through dialysis and now a transplant. To talk us through, as a kidney health coach, what are some misconceptions about kidney diseases and transplants that you often encounter, and how do you educate people about them?
So when I actually became kidney health coach, it was primarily I wanted to educate myself, because even I was unaware of a lot of things, like why did this happen to me? What are the main causes? And in my case, I would never know what exactly is the reason for my kidney failure. To be honest, when I reached the hospital, my creatinine was already 30. My kidneys had shrunk to 5.5 and 6.5 centimeters. So biopsy could never be performed, and nobody ever knows what exact why my kidneys have failed, and will never know. That's the truth. So I came across this certification course of kidney health coach by American Kidney Fund. I just decided to take it initially just to see if I can educate myself, but later realized that when I start talking to my friend circle and other people around, people really are unaware, like of unaware. They really don't know how to take care of their kidneys. I know a lot of my friends who have high blood pressure problems, and they have no idea that high blood pressure is actually one of the leading cause of kidney failure in United States, second to diabetes. People recently, one of my friend was just admitted to ER. He just went to Costco to buy some grocery, and all of a sudden his blood pressure rose to 168 160 over 110. He spent like 6 hours, and 6 hours with his entire family in ER getting all the tests done, and on all that. But if we do not really monitor our blood pressure and sugar levels on the regular basis, and kidney health, it's very hard to actually diagnose if there's any problem with kidney. So one of the things which I actually realized, that most people really don't know what actually takes it to have a healthy kidney. They ignore the initial symptoms like shortness of breath, high blood pressure, or elevated sugar levels, as well as sometimes the people, I don't know, they dehydrate themselves. Kidneys need water to stay healthy. They need good amount of hydration. And trust me, in United States, people drink more soda than water. And soda is really not good. It increases your phosphorus level if you're on dialysis. It can dehydrate you immediately, dehydrate you because of high caffeine contents. But
Yeah.
wherever you go, you will always see people having more sodas.
Okay.
And
I understand what you said, Dipti. Sorry for cutting you short, because kidney works with water, especially. You don't have to dehydrate yourself. You have to take not just a water, enough water to keep your kidney going. So, Dipti, could you talk us through about the process on how you got the certification you talked about? Talk us through.
so if you go to the American Kidney Fund website, so they have actually American Kidney Health Coach certification course. It's actually a 4 hours long course with a lot of videos and exercises. Anybody can take it. It's free of cost, and very self-explanatory. It walks through the what are the main leading causes of the kidney failure, how does the kidney function, and if you have a kidney disease, how to navigate through it in the socially as well as the financial basis. Because another thing which most people are not aware, that CKD patients are applicable to medical and Medicaid facilities, and even if you go register for the transplant, they take into account if the person is in the financial situation to afford the transplant or not. So it gives like a 360-degree view of navigating the entire situation, from how to take care of yourself, as well as managing the transplant, as well as the financial aspects of it. It's a very good course for anybody who just wants to educate themselves. You really don't
Yeah.
have to be a medical practitioner. You just as long as you're interested in maintaining your own kidney health, it's good enough.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's, I mean, even if you do not educate others, you just educate yourself and your own immediate family and friends. It's really good enough. You're doing more than enough. Trust me,
Yeah.
like even if you educate like three people, you are doing an amazing job.
Because people are really quite adamant about taking care of their kidneys. Once you get the
Everyone
certificate.
ignores the initial symptoms like shortness of breath,
Yeah.
or itching, or loss of appetite, or high blood pressure.
Mm,
Trust me, if
mm,
you ask anybody how often you measure your blood pressure, I mean, They'll say, wow, once in a while. Or they really won't measure. They won't measure the glucose levels.
Israel, thank you so much, Dipti, for talking us through on how you encounter some misconceptions about kidney diseases and transplant, and how you educate people about them as a kidney health coach. And I believe that the audience are really educated further about kidney diseases, its symptoms, and transplants as well, what it takes to go through all of this intriguing situation. Thank you so much, Dipti, for talking us through. So we still have three more questions for you to go. So the third question for you, Dipti, is balance your career, right? Because I know you're a senior data scientist, amazing, and then also an engineer as well. So balance your career as a senior data scientist and an engineer while managing your health must be very challenging. Everyone knows that. So, what strategies helped you maintain productivity, sorry, and well-being during this time? How did you do that?
The firstly was that I really could not do much justice to it because my main priority was my health. Because I was on the 9 hours under dialysis and had to go to the dialysis center uh, twice a month, and had like doctor's appointment and manage the dialysis supplies and medication and all that. But one of the key things which I did was that I informed my manager and co-workers about my medical situation and asked them for a flexibility at work, as well as instead of going to the office on the regular basis, I asked for a special accommodation if I could just come to office once a day. And most was working remotely, and used to mark my calendars whenever I used to have my doctor's appointment. Secondly was that I started maintaining more of a very organized calendar, so that people are aware that during these hours I would be away from work. I cannot be. I would be out of reach.
Mm, mm, mm,
And in fact, a lot of times I have to actually cancel a lot of my prior appointments, which were which were not related to either work or my doctor's appointment. Like posting my like something like going out with my friend or watching a movie or something like that, those got sacrificed a lot in this.
mm, mm. Amazing, T. It's amazing you said that. Your health was a priority, and it's still a priority now. Other than what you do as a data scientist and also an engineer as well. And it's amazing that you adhere to what doctors stated for you, right? Ignoring your work to fathom the doctor's appointments, which is very amazing thing to do. Other than being ignorant about visiting the doctor. Thank you so much for talking us through on how you balanced you know your health and alongside with your work as a data scientist and also an engineer, which is very challenging. Everybody knows that, very challenging. So, and also talking us through about these strategies that helped you, maintain productivity and well-being during this time. Thank you so much. And I believe that the audience are really lightened the more and how you balanced those equations. So, the fifth question for you is the fourth question. Sorry, how has your experience as a kidney transplant recipient shaped your approach to coaching others who are navigating similar health challenges? Talk us through.
So when I got the transplant, it was actually like a surprise to me. I was just sitting in my day. It was a Saturday of January 4th, and I was just waiting for my few of my friends to come over at my place for lunch. And then all of a sudden, I got a call from hospital that I have to reach within 2 hours because they have a kidney available for me. And it was just like a New Year gift for me, which most people, transplant patients do not realize that if you're getting a a deceased donor's kidney, you have to be prepared all time. You can get call anytime, and whatever the time doctors or transplant team said to you, you have to reach hospital within that time to get your kidney. So it was a surprise. So immediately I did my did my packing, called one of my friends over so that he can drop me at hospital, and called few other friends so they can come over to the hospital. And one of my friends stayed overnight till the time the operation happened. I reached hospital around 2:30, and 9 o'clock operation happened, and it took 4 hours. I mean, most transplant patients do not know the how much time the entire operations take, 4 hours. And another thing which I was unaware, that after transplant, from the second day itself, January 5th, the doctors expected me to stand on my feet and start walking. So, because that's the only way you can recover from the pain. Most people think that when you have operations, you need to rest, but they expect you to stand on your feet and start walking from the day one of operation. And the thing which I realized that after transplant you're given so many medicines, but I got allergies to a lot of medicines, even the immunosuppressant tacrolimus, which lowered my platelet counts to 50. So I was given almost like 6 units of blood during my first immediately after transplant, as well as I got UTI immediately after transplant. I never had UTI my entire life, so this was something new to me. And immediately after transplant they give you around 20, 30 to 40 medicines every day for at least first 3 months. This was something very new to me. I did not know that I have to take so many medicines. And usually people spend 3 days in the hospital after transplant. I was there for 16 days because of a lot of complications. And then even after discharge, after 10 days, I have to rush back to hospital for another 16 days. Then I come home, work home for 12 days, then have to rush back hospital because either I got allergies to medicines, and then later doctors discovered that I have high inflammation in my entire body, which had impacted both my liver enzymes and kidney function. So this was something like I was not really aware that uh, these are the challenges which will come with the transplant. And it takes like 6 months to 1 year for a transplant patient to come back to the normal life. And they're prone to infection. So I'm still under a lot of social isolation, cannot meet infected people. The only place I usually go is like my to get the lab work on Mondays and Thursday. And if I'm going out for a walk, always have to wear mask. And when nurses always tell me to keep washing my hands, so that I don't get any bacterial infection because my immunity is less than zero. And but the good thing is that I can eat anything now except raw meat and some fruits, which is not a really a big deal because I feel more energetic now. I feel more happier. I don't have to do dialysis anymore. And uh, in general, my life has started to come back to normal. So that all feels good.
Amazing, amazing. We're so happy for you, Dipti, that you're now energetic and you can eat some few things, and also feel okay. We, the audience, are really happy for you, Dipti. Just it's I know it was a very traumatic experience to to be diagnosed with chronic diseases, kidney diseases, also your dialysis procedures and also your transplanting and all that. It is a traumatic experience, and we're so happy that you're back to normal. You're back to normal. So thank you so much for talking us through about your experience, with as a kidney transplant recipient, and also on how you coach others navigating similar health challenges as well. So, Deepti, the last question for you before we round up is, with your expertise in data science and engineering, do you see any emerging technologies or innovations that could improve kidney disease management, dialysis, or transplant outcomes?
Yeah, there are actually a lot of developments going on. One is the artificial kidney project initiative by UCSF, which is still under research, and they're doing an excellent job. I've actually already shared my own personal journey with them as well. So I think they're still in the beta testing phase, but I think this will really help in reducing the time people wait for the kidneys. I was lucky to get the kidney within 8 months, but usually most people wait 6 to 10 years in United States to get a kidney. I have met a lot of folks when I go to lab who have waited 12 years on dialysis to get kidney. So this
Uh,
would really actually help people not to be on dialysis for a long time, because dialysis exposes you to a lot of infections. People do not Dialysis is not a treatment or a cure. It's just like middle path till you get the kidney. And honestly, like, you're more prone to infection during the dialysis. My dad was on the dialysis and he got infection and was in hospital for 3 months before we lost him to a heart stroke. So this I hope this artificial kidney do takes over and help in reducing the kidney shortage, there are a lot of living donors, but still the shortage is too much. And trust me, the kidney patients in United States and all over the world are increasing at much faster rate than the people are coming forward to donate their own kidneys. Another thing which is under development is that use of pig's kidney after genetically modifying it. So that is also taking place. I think there have been few experiments going on, and one of them has been successful so far on some woman in New York. So I hope this do no lead to something very sustainable in future and help in reducing the waiting time. Another thing which feel would be like development of new technologies which can monitor the health of the transplanted kidney, like measuring the hydration levels. Because I have to drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day, so I actually measure the water, and that's what most transplant patients do to keep themselves hydrated and keep their kidneys healthy. Like, if there's some kind of a device which can measure your hydration levels, as well as since we have to wash your hands very often, so something which you can just some sensor you can place your hand to check if there are any bacteria present and you need more washing. Those kind of technologies would really help patients a lot. And I think there should be there's already some of these things are already existing, but most people are not aware of it. And I with my background in data, I do feel that with the lot of healthcare data available on the patient's health, it would we can utilize those data to build predictive models and use AI to see if there's a probability of a kidney failure in future, just by looking at the past records of patients.
Amazing. Thank you so much, DT, for talking us through about some emerging technologies or innovations that could improve kidney disease management, dialysis, or transplant outcomes. Deepti, thank you so much for your time today.
And
I
another thing, can I add something?
Okay, you want to add something? All right, no problem.
Yeah, so this might seem a joke because most of the people when I have talked to after transplant, they ask me, did they remove my old kidneys? So I think a lot of people have misconception that they remove your old kidneys. So I just wanted to add that they don't remove the old kidneys until there is some problem with the old kidneys. So if you're a transplant patient, don't worry, they're not going to do anything with your existing kidney. They will just place your new kidneys, and it would be just like a C-section on C-section on your abdomen. They place it on the front side. You would be in pain for
Oh,
1 to 1.5 months, but you should be fine after that.
okay, okay. Thank you for that clarity, Deepti. Thank you so much. So if you love this content, do well to like, share, and subscribe. Please do well to follow Deepti. Her details will be on the YouTube description below. And if you have questions about kidney diseases, dialysis, or transplant, you could add your question in the comment section, or you could reach out to Deepti directly via Instagram or LinkedIn, and she's willing to help you because she's a kidney health coach alongside with her work as a data scientist and an engineer as well. So thank you so much, Deepti. Thank you, everyone. Love you so much.
Thank you so much, Ransom, and hope you have a great day.
All right, you take care. Ending it right now.
Thank you.